Welcome back to Family Tanks. I'm Zosia.
I'm Scott.
And this is Lucius, our ball python snake.
Hey, buddy.
So today we're talking about the must-haves and supplies for our snake.
Exactly. So we got thinking about it, and we've been keeping a snake for how long now? Since October, right?
Yes.
And we got thinking about items that we found to be indispensable, the must-have items for snake keeping. So we wanted to share with you our top 10 list.
And some of these things we didn't realize in the beginning, which I'm like,
How did we not know these, right?
No, these things bring so much help. So if you have any of these ideas for us, please tell us in the comments.
Absolutely. And this is also our first episode of Snakey Sunday.
Yes.
So if you like the content that we're doing here and you like snakes and want to learn more about snakes, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and then we're going to try every Sunday to have a snake-related video for you.
It might be a video, it might be a short, whatever you guys want.
Who knows? We'll see. But again, leave comments. That's how we know. So let's get into it, right?
Okay, let's get started.
So the number 10 item on our list for snake handlers is...
I said sand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, right? Hand sanitizer. No, Zosia, why don't you tell everybody why we think this is a good idea? There's two reasons, right?
Well, the first reason is it keeps your hands clean, and after holding a snake, there might be some things and just stuff you want to clean your hands off.
And it keeps you from giving your snake your germs too, right?
Yes.
Yep, and what's the other main reason why hand sanitizer is a good thing to have around?
You can say that one, I don't know.
Hand sanitizer, the other reason to have hand sanitizer is 9 out of 10 times if a snake gets nippy, it's because it is confusing you with its food. You're reaching in there,
yes,
exactly.
Actually, we have a video all about this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And when you put hand sanitizer in your hands, you are guaranteeing that you don't smell like dinner, which is a great way.
What is that?
Ooh, exactly. It doesn't hurt the snake at all, especially you gotta make sure you let it dry off first, right?
Yes.
But your hands will have like that perfume smell on it, and it's guaranteed you don't have any mistaken identities, right?
There's nothing in the world that smells like hand sanitizer.
Nope. And our number 10 item is
hand
sanitizer.
Number 9 is paper towels.
Paper towels. Doesn't seem very exciting, does it?
No, it isn't, but it's very useful.
Super
For
useful.
like everything.
Exactly. You can use it to clean the glass. You can use it to spot check for poop, because the snakes will leave little turds, and you can just go in there and tear one off and take the turd and throw it away and not necessarily have to redo the whole enclosure right then and there. Also, if you're in a pinch, you can use this as bedding in the bottom of the habitat as well.
And also, just in case you had to quarantine your snake, it's clean.
Yep, it's
and
clean,
also,
it's sterile, it's cheap, it's disposable, it's biodegradable. There's a lot of pluses.
You have this little tube the snake can now go through.
You can use it for enrichment when it's done. That's a great suggestion, Zosia.
Actually, we should do a video on like DIY snake hides. And
that is a really cool idea, but that is our number 9 item, paper towels.
Number 8 is lid latches.
Lid latches. These guys. So on the snaky lid, I'll try to show this to the camera.
Like
you can buy these latches, which are a positive lock, and there's no way that the snake can open it from the inside, and there's no way that your cat or anything like that is going to be able to open it from the outside.
Because cats
right?
don't have thumbs.
They don't have thumbs. We do, and these things are great. Snakes are escape artists. They can go through the tiny escape artists.
And also, you actually experienced this in your own life.
Yes, I had one get away when I was a kid. And we found it, by the way. But nevertheless, we had one get away, and that's a whole nother story. But
it's actually in our story video.
It is in our story video, and check that out. But these guys will absolutely make sure that your snake stays safe and secure and where it is supposed to be. And if you live with other people who might not be as nutty about snakes, they will appreciate having the locks.
Number 7 is water cup.
A water cup.
Okay, you might think this is like, why do you need a water cup?
What are you people thinking? What are you thinking, Zosia?
I know, it's a perfect snake dancing material.
Dancing material. So here's the thing. Most reptile holes, like if you take a look at the one in here, are relatively shallow. And that's for a reason, so they can go in there and then go around. They don't need a lot of depth. I mean, at least not most species, right? And if you fill up one of those wide, shallow bowls and try to carry it through your house, you're gonna end up with about half the water in it and the rest of it on your rug the whole way. Get yourself a cup that you dedicate to snake purposes, right?
Maybe this is an old party cup we had.
Exactly, and we just made sure it didn't have any soap or any residues on it, and we only use it for snakes, so it's not like a germy thing. And now we can fill it with water and go in and put the water in the enclosure with the cup.
And you can.
It's the simplest thing, and it's been such a tremendous help. So consider the snake cup.
And also you can use it as a snake dancing.
Whatever that means.
Number 6 is the timer for lights.
Exactly. Put the lights on a timer. It's so important, and it guarantees you don't do what, Zosia?
You don't like keep it dry out your snake.
Yeah, keep it on, keep it off, or anything else. Let's face it, we all get forgetful, particularly this guy, right? It just is what it is. A timer, make sure that the light goes on and goes off on a normal cycle, and it's really good for your snake and limits its stress because it has a normal circadian rhythm.
Yes.
But it is absolutely positively indispensable, in our opinion, is have a timer for the lights.
Yeah, so every 8 o'clock, Lucius knows it's time for bed.
Bedtime, time to go on the hunt.
Number 5, and halfway through, is tongs.
Tongs, pinchy pinchies.
Yes, I pinch myself a lot.
Yes, and why do we recommend people have tongs when they are snaking?
Their favorite food's rats and mouse, and they're a little gross.
It's a little gross.
So,
You know, well,
you pick it up.
It's a little gross.
And you can pick it up. You have your frozen or just live. Pick it up. And for frozen fog, what we do is put it in a cup, and we have a video all about how to
Thaw it out, and then you use the tongs, right?
Yes, and it's easy to grab and give it to your snake so he doesn't bite your hands.
Exactly. That's another thing too, is that is wonderful and amazing and cool how these guys have evolved and everything else. They're not the brightest animals in the world, right?
No.
And if they smell rat and then there's warm things in front of their face, including your fingers, it's possible they could miss.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
also
it's a
if
thing.
they go too far, yeah, just
It also helps keep them from associating your fingers with food.
yes.
So right here, like he's all on our fingers, but there's no worries at all because we never feed him with our fingers. We use the tongs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's safer for him, it's safer for us,
And it's sanitary.
and it is sanitary, which I am all about, right?
Yes, you're
So
sanitary.
get yourself some pitchy tongs.
Okay, next up is a non-lighting heat mat.
A non-lighting heat source of some
yes.
sort,
Well,
right?
a heat mat is a version of it.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Snakes are exothermic, okay? Which means that they're, or otherwise cold-blooded, right? Means their temperature is the same of what's going on outside. So we all know, at least most of us know, that you have to put heat in their enclosure to be able to maintain their metabolism, right? That's just, it's warmer than the way we like it normally. Now, most snakes are going to benefit from having both a warmer ambient temperature as well as a basking area.
Yes.
All pythons like to
Basking.
burrow underground and things like that. So it doesn't matter so much. It could matter a little bit, I guess, depending on the species you choose. That if you're talking about a heat mat or a radiant heat panel or a ceramic heat emitter, but having a heat source that is not dependent on making it light in the enclosure is really important so you can regulate the heat both day and night. So what we have going on here is we actually have a thermostat control. There's a heat pad
Right here. Right
underneath the warm hide, and then this is a ceramic heat emitter which helps increase the ambient temperature, and between the two hooked to a thermostat we have a nice hot spot, a warmer ambient area, a thermal gradient, and then the lights can go on and off, and it doesn't affect any of those because the lights are just LEDs. They don't put any light out, or excuse me, don't put any heat out,
Well, that'd
right?
be bad if they didn't put any light out.
Yeah, they would be kind of useless if they didn't put any light out, but they don't put any heat out. So we are big fans of a heat source, and again, this is going to be somewhat dependent on the species and the enclosure, but a heat source or sources that don't depend on having light.
Number 3 is spray bottle.
A spritz bottle.
I thought you were gonna spray it.
Now,
first.
did this bottle come from like Windex or something like that?
No, don't do that.
No.
Please don't.
Buy a
Everyone.
brand new, clean spray bottle that's never seen chemicals and never been used for anything else.
Can we tell you why we don't want you to use Windex bottles?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's chemicals. You eat chemicals. No, you don't. And if
Bad
you spray
stuff.
chemicals around animals, it's not good for them either.
The fact is the plastic has a little bit of porosity to it. There's a little bit of pores in the plastic, and it will leach chemicals if the chemicals have been stored in there for a long time. So don't just assume you got it clean. You really can't. You should start with a brand new fresh one.
Yes.
Now, Zosia, why don't you tell everybody what we do have in here?
We have distilled water.
Yep. Well, in this case, it's RO water because we
Yes.
have an RO system for the reef tank, right?
So, but do you know why we use RO?
Yeah, tell us. Why do you use the RO water in your spray bottle?
Versus our water in
Like tap water, right?
tap water. So tap water has minerals. RO water has none. So when we spray it on here,
No water spots.
Well, there is too, because mine's filled up with regular water.
Okay, well, there's that, but it keeps the enclosure clean. It creates the right humidity that you need. You can actually use it on the front with one of the paper towels we talked about, and use it to wipe down the front without ever having to use Windex or something. But deionized, distilled, or reverse osmosis water in a clean, dedicated to purpose spray bottle is awesome.
Yes.
And you can also do this.
Next up is the thermostat as number 2.
Yes, thermostat is super, super important. So we talked about heat sources, right? How do you control them?
Thermostat.
With a thermostat, if you just put this heat source, like this ceramic heat emitter that we have on here, if it was not thermostat controlled, I could easily make it 150 degrees in that enclosure.
And that would be bad for Lucius.
Then we'd have snake burgers. That's craziness. You can't do that, right? You have to have a thermostat. It's absolutely mandatory for anybody who's keeping any reptile. Period. And it's absolutely necessary. What do you think, buddy?
Also, a lot of people think we don't have one. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. For some reason, everybody assumes we don't have a thermostat. We do. And we're huge believers in it because it's absolutely necessary. I mean, there's just no question. If you can't afford a thermostat, then put off getting your reptile until you can get one. You can get this one we got on Amazon for like, what, 25 bucks?
Yeah, pretty cheap.
You can get one, right? There's really no excuse not to have one. So, thermostat.
Thermostat. And number 1.
The number 1 item for snake people is
infrared thermometer.
an infrared thermometer. This thing is awesome. So we talked about the thermostat, and it has a heat probe, so you can definitely set where the thermostat keeps that 1 point. But this lets you know what temperature everything is.
Yes.
So Zosia's foot is 87 degrees at her sock. The enclosure, right where the heat sources meet, is about 95 degrees.
Yes.
Right?
And
the other end of the enclosure, I'm just going to keep going here because I can just shoot anything with this,
yes.
is about 85 degrees when you get further away, right?
I actually have a story.
This thing's cool.
So, oh my gosh, okay.
Don't look at the light. No, these things are great. Sorry, your story.
Okay, so my story. So when we first got this during the holidays, we basically scan around the whole house and it's like do. And you can see this on many other channels when they're like incubating snake eggs. It's like on my chin. Okay, you're getting too excited.
This is so much fun.
Well,
but the infrared heat thermometer is a heat thermometer versus another kind of thermometer. The infrared thermometer is absolutely worth its weight in gold, right?
it's also really fun.
Yeah, they're totally cool. But you can check anything out with it because we keep dart frogs and a snake and we have multiple aquariums. It works on all these different things and it allows you to spot check the temperature on different surfaces.
And it's very, very like detailed because it's like one single laser.
Yeah, you just point the laser spot at what it is. It tells you what the temperature of the surface of that area, not the air, but just that surface.
It's really, really cool.
Which is really cool, and it works a lot differently than a thermometer like this. This is really just measuring the air temperature that's surrounding the thermometer. I can actually tell you that the water surface is 76 degrees. The rock under the hide is 87 degrees. The section by the heat mat is 95 degrees. I mean, it's amazing. These cost about, what, $30 on Amazon or on the online stores?
I just said it's the worst.
It's the worst. No, it is the worst not to have one.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is our number 1
Please get one. It's so
item for snaky people, right?
And you're obsessed with laser into the camera.
And it's so cool to shoot our fans with laser beams. But anyway, that is our top 10 must-have snake-a-doodles.
And I think
Snakey items.
I think Lucius approves.
And Lucius totally approves because he is awesome sauce.
He's
and
snake-alicious.
you're awesome sauce. And thank you. So stay tuned for more Snaky Sundays. We're also launching, for people who are interested, Froggy Fridays about our dart frogs.
Water Wednesdays.
And Watery Wednesdays about our aquariums because we have a live planted aquascape and a reef tank that is water snake.
Well, actually, there should be a new video coming.
So stay tuned, subscribe, like and subscribe, tell a friend, make a big banner, make a t-shirt, tiptoe through the tulips going, family tanks, or whatever. But either way, we will catch you next time, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for watching.